Want to make a podcast? Spotify's got a platform that's going to let you make one super easily. And then you can distribute it everywhere and even earn money doing this. All in one place. And it's free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters. Here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and even edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and everywhere else podcasts are heard.
Ever since we discovered Spotify for Podcasters, it's been really great. Really get the people involved and ask questions and get ideas for new podcasts. So it's really helped us. And I highly recommend you give it a try. So download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started.
If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
In Dallas, Texas, 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade in downtown Dallas.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you, sir?
Because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got. If you don't like what we tell you to believe in, we'll kill you.
All right, kids. Listen.
Don't
Podcast
listen to this.
if you're not of age.
What's of age?
Of age is like you can make your own decisions in life without parental guidance. 18
16?
18. We're not in Atlanta.
Georgia is 16.
We're not in Atlanta. That's what I said. We're not in Atlanta. This is 18 and up. Look,
Atlanta.
we're a bunch of dudes, and we're going to say some really bad words, and probably some things that might offend you. But
Don't listen to this.
can't wait till you listen.
Yeah, don't.
If
do
you're
it.
18 and up.
Don't do it.
If you're 18 and
Yeah.
up.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Conspiracy Podcast. We are doing part 3 of our OJ saga, or what do you call it?
O.J. Simpson Saga.
I think it's a saga. 'Cause anything more than the trilogy is a saga.
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. And it's lasted 30 years. Jesus.
The epic.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody.
Yeah, we're happy you're here.
We've gotten a lot of good feedback on the last couple episodes.
Yeah, appreciate the
So,
listens.
pretty good.
Get my
Got
mom-
some press too.
Getting my
Some press.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a couple news stations picked it up, and
maybe ABC
I'll
Columbia, holla back.
Couple of small towns.
Yeah.
Columbia's not that small.
Columbia, South
South
Carolina.
Carolina,
Yeah. All right. All right.
it's all right.
That's all right.
It's no New York, but you know.
We're about to lose all our Columbia listeners.
I know, they're like, I fucking hate these guys.
Okay, so what did we cover in part 2? So that was the trial, right? That
Yeah.
was that was
We went over, obviously, the
glove didn't fit.
The glove,
Yeah.
Cochran.
Furman.
Oh, yeah, Furman.
Yeah.
God,
Furman.
idiot.
Yeah.
I don't remember saying the N-word. Not one time.
And the jury, the 4-hour
Oh,
deliberation.
4 hours. I still can't get over that. I thought about that for like a long time after we finished. I was like, 4 hours? You know what?
I would have been insulted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't even finished a conversation with my wife over 4 hours.
I'm still in an argument for 4 hours.
Like, seriously. 4 hours.
4 days.
What'd you say,
4 years.
what'd you say last time? We can't even get through
Lord of the Rings.
No, a podcast episode.
episode.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck.
Yeah, so that was ridiculous.
Yeah, I know.
But-
So he got acquitted.
Yeah.
So celebration in the streets.
That's another thing.
know.
Celebration in the streets.
Yeah.
Well, we
Get
were
the
going
fuck
over that
outta
in the
here.
last episode because it was so close to the
Oh, the LA riots.
the LA riots but what was it was the LA riots, but what is it? It was because of that.
Oh,
What's his name?
Rodney King.
Rodney King, yeah.
So everything was still fresh there, and
but it'd be a little bit different if it was for something really good for African American people.
That's
Right.
What
You know,
that's
like
what it
something
was
like
thought, though, right?
you're
well,
like,
it was like
we won gold in the Olympics.
no, but it was justice. Finally, I don't know.
Yeah.
but the irony is
That
not
it's
justice.
not justice
I
at
know,
all.
right?
It's anti-justice.
The system failed.
Do you think it was a step back?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
You know what
I
mean?
totally think anything where you're glorifying the murder of a person, and the person gets off, and you're only happy just because it was a black person that got off, or a white person, or a Mexican, or an Asian.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what any time. I think that in and of itself is weird.
Yeah. So after the verdict, polling was done, and it showed that 75% of white Americans thought he was guilty, while 70% of African Americans thought he was innocent.
Really?
So
This is at the time of the verdict.
it's a pretty thick divide there.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So 75% of white Americans thought he was guilty. 70% of African Americans thought he was not guilty.
That's crazy.
I would have not guessed that. Yeah.
So at the end of this episode, I will read you what today's poll is.
Today's, and I wonder how many people they actually
crazy,
poll,
right?
like especially
Yeah.
when they do these polls. Like,
Oh, that's
you
a
know,
good point. That's
they're
a good
only
point.
taking like
Yeah.
a sample size, maybe like 1,000, 10,000 max. So
Yeah.
it's really interesting to see how they're. I love how they generalize
Like
like 1,000 white people,
Yeah.
90% of white people, and that's
You know, that's why they get the election polls so wrong.
I know they're so wild.
Because they go, oh, yeah, okay, I was in Baton Rouge and I did 100 surveys.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, in like
okay,
this
well,
neighborhood, one neighborhood.
Yeah. That's why statistics can be skewed so easily.
Yeah. So in 1996, after the criminal trial, in 1996, Fred Goldman and Sharon, the parents of Ron Goldman and Lou Brown, the father of Nicole Brown, they filed a civil suit against Simpson.
I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, and so it was a wrongful death suit. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
They had a different judge. It was a whole different trial,
Yeah.
right? The judge was named Hiroshi Fujisaki.
yeah.
So, and the purpose of the trial is what? To get money? Because
civil suits are for money.
Yeah, you're not going to go to jail for this. Right?
Well, he
It's
can't.
It's
he
not
can't.
a criminal.
It's double jeopardy.
Exactly.
He cannot go to.
Yeah.
He cannot go to prison for the same crime.
That's right.
That's crazy.
Also, in the civil suit, you're suing the individual. It's not the state versus O.J. Simpson.
That's right.
That's
Yeah,
true.
true.
That's
Right?
very true. Yeah.
So
it is like
Ron.
it's the city prosecutor
Yes.
who's against that. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's Fred and Sharon versus O.J. Simpson.
Right.
That makes sense. Yeah. So in this, completely different than the trial before. So the judge didn't allow cameras.
It also took the jury 42 minutes.
The jury was not sequestered.
Oh, they
Right?
could just
So-
do whatever they
yeah,
want.
yeah.
No one cared.
It was in a different county. It was in Santa Monica, and they were not. The defense was not allowed to use the racism angle of the LAPD versus. You know what I mean?
I wonder how that works. Like, why not? That's part of their. It was part
Well, I
of
think-
their defense. I mean, it was part of what actually happened.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
Yeah, it's true.
I'm just saying. I don't know. I just
I
wonder.
agree, but I don't know.
that's the argument, right? Is does that prove innocence or guilt?
It's-
How you believe in things.
Right.
So if you're a kid, okay, I shoot him. I shoot Sean.
Yeah.
You're watching, right? Okay, I shoot him. You're watching. You're the star witness.
Okay.
Okay, so is it correct for me to dig into your entire life and see where you stand in your politics, for example?
If you're defending me, I would want you to do that. I would want my lawyer to do that.
Well, no, obviously
Okay.
the whole point. The
The
whole
whole point though
of
is,
it-
did you see it though?
yeah. And see, the whole point
Yes,
is like
yes.
So if you're a liberal, it doesn't mean you didn't see
Yeah, but-
someone get killed.
the murder.
Okay, that's true. Yes.
You know what I mean?
No,
Yeah, you're
Jorge,
right, you're right.
Jorge, stop thinking as a defendant. Jorge's like, but I don't want to go to jail. Like, hell yeah, dig into his background. Like,
Yeah.
Put him on trial too.
exactly.
Put him on the stand.
Anyway, so that's just the differences. I know, it is debatable, and you're not wrong. There is that. You're right. I mean,
I could
like
see
for
the
example,
no cameras.
you're also doing the credibility of a witness. So like,
Exactly.
yeah.
It's
So
part of it.
if you're a crack addict, you lie constantly, and you are just a bad person.
Yeah.
As a jury member, I might go, hey,
Maybe they're lying again.
maybe he's lying again.
Right.
Yeah.
So
exactly. So
there-
there is that.
I agree.
But
I-
racism might not.
I do agree that that is an important factor, but I don't think it's weird that matters so much, but just the evidence. And I think they were.
Yeah.
And I think the reason that it was probably not used for this because obviously in the criminal trial they were going with the physical evidence that was there, and since he was the cop, they were trying to spin it as if he could have manipulated that
And
evidence.
planted
Right,
it.
right.
Yeah.
So that's why I think probably why.
Yeah.
Like in the civil case, or well, no, we don't care.
Yeah.
It's not as big of a thing as opposed to
Right.
in
The
there he's like
actual
he could have
physical
he could
evidence of-
technically he could have picked up the glove.
Yeah.
He could have moved it over there. He could have wiped a little blood on it.
Yeah, it's true. So it's weird. Also, you have to take into account the prosecution were different people then. In the criminal court or case, they were just different people and they had a different strategy.
Yeah.
They did different things.
True.
They messed up.
Oh God.
They just messed up.
Monumental.
Right? So a couple things of note. You remember when we went over what they found in the Bronco?
Yeah. A cash.
Yeah,
the
the
mask,
disguise,
Colt
like,
45. Yeah,
disguise.
Passport.
The fake mustache.
Yeah. The defense in the first trial didn't bring that as evidence.
Oh my God. Are you kidding? The first thing I
What?
would say, he literally had 8 G's.
Yeah.
A fucking disguise.
This
his
is not a
passport.
person that's, this is a person that's trying to get away, yeah.
So strategically, they didn't. Do you see what I mean? So I don't know. It's like like the coach tried a different thing there. Don't pass it to Steph. I don't know. They just didn't.
They just put stuff on the bench.
Yeah,
We're gonna be good.
Yeah.
Look,
Steph, you're on D.
we're up 2-1 in the series.
Yeah.
Fuck it. This is rest of starters.
So I don't know. So a lot of different things were not put into it. The other thing was, so you remember the shoe print? They found a bloody shoe.
Yeah, it was like lead on the walkway.
Yeah, that's
on
right.
the walkway to.
So they found in the criminal trial that it belonged to a Bruno Magli shoe, right? A type of shoe.
Sounds
and
like
they only made like 200 of these.
Sounds like a
shoes.
nice fucking shoe. Bruno Magli sounds deluxe.
They only made like 200 of these shoes, so it was very
a small
specific.
list. And
Yeah.
OJ bought 42 pairs.
yeah, and he's a 6'3",
Giant
man, right? So it's not he's wearing 10 and a halves,
Right.
Okay, so they found photos of him at a football game doing commentary wearing the shoes.
Oh my God.
Wow. Okay.
The shoes.
The Bruno Maglis.
Yes. And he said in an interview, I would never wear those shoes because they're ugly ass shoes. I would never wear those shoes.
Unless I was on TV. And then I would wear
So
them.
in the first court case, they never put the photo of him wearing the shoes.
We should
They sucked.
we should
That's
be
what it was.
we should be
You
prosecutors.
see, you see they just did the strategy and the whatever. They just didn't do it.
Yeah.
And so so this was then included in the civil trial,
I see.
Right.
right? Okay. Also, OJ took a polygraph test.
Which is not admissible in
You
court.
mean,
Yeah.
the second time or the first time?
He actually did it the first time,
Yeah.
but they didn't put it into the criminal case.
Because it's not admissible in court.
I know, but they did put it here
didn't know
as
Oh, just
just
fly.
to show.
Yeah.
Like he failed so as much as you could fail.
Like the whole time, it's like, it's like it's just going crazy. Is your name OJ? It's like, yes. And then it's like, did you kill your wife? Of course not.
So results from the polygraph test, the note says that Simpson had extreme deception.
So pretty much, he's without saying it, he's
100%
lying.
liar.
He's full of shit.
He was like
The technical
I could
term.
imagine
The
he was-
technical term, 100% liar.
100%.
but like you said,
It's not admissible in court because
Yes.
it's not a science.
it's not.
It's
they could have had
you could
a
be
stomach ache.
you could be
And
nervous. Yeah, you get the
yes.
shits.
Yeah, yeah. So you don't really know, but I'm just taking the things that were included in the civil trial that were not included in the criminal trial.
Totally.
Yeah. Okay.
Totally.
Furman did not testify.
Oh, fucking fancy that.
Yeah. So
Well, I plead the fifth.
I saw that one.
Plead the fifth.
They knew what he was going to say the whole time. Yeah.
I love black people.
So Simpson did testify.
Oh, really? On this one he did? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you like have a couple fake tears in there? Ooh.
So it's kind of hard to know because they didn't film it.
Oh shit, that's right.
True.
So there's a lot of drawings and things like
Oh,
that.
like the caricatures.
Yeah. Court artists.
Who gets that job? It's like, that's when you know you've like hit rock bottom. You're like, I'm a court artist. So
They probably make bank, man.
oh,
Like,
dude, they should probably do get paid. I'm talking shit and they like make
know,
more
right?
than I do.
Do you think they go from like Venice Beach to
like drawing
Santa
the
Monica
O.J.
Court?
Simpson
I was
trial.
thinking more like they go from Disney doing characters to like then doing. Hey, that's a pretty good picture.
I
you got
think
there.
the Disney ones are the top, right? The artists.
No.
No, God, no. They're doing caricatures, bro.
Yeah.
It's not like they're doing like.
Whoa, are we talking about getting paid or skill? We're talking about getting
Oh,
paid.
getting paid. Disney's probably they're probably getting paid. Everything at Disney is expensive.
True.
Have you gotten a water from Disney? Fucking $400. True. It's like retarded.
So in this trial, they also did these interviews with OJ And they're kind of interesting to watch, where he had to go and he had to get grilled by the attorney who actually knew how to interrogate somebody.
Oh, wow. Attorney who's actually good at his job.
Yeah, so compared to the detective who did it,
Yeah.
you know, all
We know
that
you
time
did it.
ago.
Ah!
Yeah.
The detective and the freaking state
Prosecution.
the prosecution.
Yeah.
District attorney.
Yeah,
They
sucked.
fucked it up. But
Yeah.
anyways,
What?
He took the stand in his first trial, right?
No.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, no,
I was
he
like,
didn't.
I was
Yeah.
like, man, how did I miss that?
He didn't. So in this one he did, and the only thing we can take from it, because we weren't there and we don't have the video, is that it was similar to I was told it was. I wasn't fucking told anything.
I was told by my research.
First off, we're gonna delete that. I wasn't told a goddamn thing.
I talked to the judge.
Like Morimoto, whatever his name was.
Judge Ito called me. And, no.
Okay.
So what I read was that it was very similar to his interviews that he'd done on camera that was right before the trial by the attorney. Right?
Right.
So in it, he's very much, and this is what we had talked about, where he's very loosey-goosey with how he replies. So
Smiley faces and shit.
yeah, so hey, how did you get that cut on your finger? I don't know, man. I was in Chicago.
I was traveling, you know,
This is not in golf. We don't know, man. You know, you play golf, you get nicked up here and there.
Hey, you know, I'm
When?
an athlete.
On the
I
golf
play
course?
all kinds of sports all the time.
Yeah,
You know, you
I
get a little
don't know.
scratch
You
here
coulda
and there.
this
You
and
see how
that.
fast I am, brother, man? I could have been running to the bathroom. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
you want an autograph?
The Jews don't know when he's nicked up. The Jews don't know.
He talks about himself in the third person as the juice.
Yeah, the Jews don't know.
When the juice gets cut, the juice don't worry about no cuts.
I love how we're progressing ghetto. Jews don't know. Jews won't tell. No, I'm gonna say now.
When the juice slanging right, you know what I'm saying?
We squeeze the juice. It's all salty now.
Now it's like in the bayou. Like, it's like fucking.
That was not racist.
No, listen, we all.
No offense.
70% of Americans believe that's not racist.
Yeah. So, but in it, so he just kept being this vague thing. And this is when he said, hey, I didn't hit my wife, but I'm responsible for what happened to her
Physically.
bruises.
And that's what I
Yeah.
never understood. He's like, I didn't hit her, but her face. I didn't hit her with a fucking pillow. How did you beat the shit?
then-
Like,
then the
she's-
guy
Pushed
goes-
her, but I didn't hit her.
Then the guy goes, did you punch your wife? And he goes, I did not punch my wife. I'm responsible for the situation and the condition that she was in, but I did not punch her.
Did he hire someone to punch her?
And you're kind of like, it's like a kid.
Yeah.
You're like, I watched you take
Yeah.
the candy. I didn't take it.
Yeah.
I don't
Like,
understand.
hey, I told you not to take the iPad. I didn't take the iPad.
But I'm
I
responsible.
watched it.
I watched the
I didn't
iPad.
take it.
I watched it.
It's in my bed right now.
I was like, define take.
Yeah. Yeah. So that happened. The civil suit, the jury found Simpson liable for the murders and awarded the victims of the families $33.5 million in compensatory and punitive damages.
Did he actually pay it though?
Hey guys, hope we're enjoying the show so far. We wanted to take a break and just remind you of the different ways that you can support our podcast. The first and foremost is you can subscribe by clicking the follow button on Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts. It's on the show page. It's really easy. You just click it and subscribe. What this does is it makes it so you get notified every new release that comes out. Another way is by simply following us on social media. This is Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, etc. But one of the best ways that you can support our podcast is to help us grow. And how do you do that? You can share the show with friends and family. Okay, thanks a bunch, everybody. Now back to the show.
Oh, that's another thing. That's true.
So
One thing is winning,
Yes.
and now the next thing is
collection.
Isn't this
actually getting paid.
interesting? Like how literally exactly the way he explains what happened with Nicole is exactly what happened in his trial. It's like literally, it's like they find him guilty. He's like, well, I didn't kill her, but I'm responsible for her being dead.
Right.
Like
you
it's
gotta
like,
pay 35 mil. Well, I gotta pay, but like,
But-
you know,
like,
how are we gonna do that?
I gotta check ins and a save ins.
It's either way it works.
It counts. I don't know.
You guys are not wrong, actually, because over the next 2 decades, this has been
They've gotten like 60
never
bucks.
ending.
2 decades. Okay, so
this
still to this day.
This is 96.
Shit.
So
like 20 years.
Yeah,
Fuck.
literally. So what happens is right after this happened, he filed for bankruptcy.
Oh, there he goes. He's like, wipe my slate clean.
Okay. Then he relocated to Florida, right?
Yeah.
And so Florida, the good thing and or the bad thing about Florida is they have the laws where it protects your pension and it protects your residence.
Oh, so they can't take your you have to
right.
be able to live.
That's right.
Yeah.
And your pension.
So it's like
NFL
Where
pension?
did he get his pension?
probably from the NFLPA.
NFL.
NFL
Yeah.
pension. So
Yeah.
how much is that?
I don't know.
It
That's a good
depends.
question.
I think it's $100,000 a year for the rest of your life.
It might be something like that because the NFLPA, they pretty much invest that money for you. So so you have health care, and you have money for the rest of your life.
That's right. So all of that was then protected, right, from this thing. So now he has. I mean, this is fast forward a little bit too because he had to sell his Brentwood.
all of his
He had to sell all
memorabilia.
this stuff.
So,
Yes,
so did he
exactly.
pay some of it?
Okay, so here
Or
we
just
go,
not
right? So
any of it?
So his remaining assets were seized and auctioned off, with most being purchased by critics of the verdict trial to try to help the plaintiffs recoup the cost of litigation.
Oh wow! So it's like a bunch of rich people who hated him. Like fuck it, we'll buy it. Like,
Yeah. So also, like his Heisman Trophy was sold for $250,000 to
Damn.
an unknown buyer.
but see, who would want that though? You like etch off the name.
Yeah.
Just
I
like
know, right?
an undisclosed Heisman Trophy.
But it has been told that 1% was paid to the Goldmans.
1%.
1%.
So that's
300?
300
grand.
grand. Yeah, 300K.
Which the Heisman Trophy was $250,000.
What if? But okay.
Really?
But it's weird that only 1% was paid, but like just one item sold for almost the 1%.
You know, and what I'm
So
confused
the rest of the
by,
stuff is Facebook Marketplace price.
It's like $7
hell of a discount. Isn't it?
Facebook Marketplace price.
Like, all right. I got a 7-ton OJ statue, $9.99.
Pickup only.
Yeah, pick 'em up.
Pick up OBO.
Yeah. You ain't got Venmo, you don't need to reply.
Right. And don't ask me if it's still available.
If the listing's up, it's available. But here's what's crazy, and I don't get it, and maybe one of our listeners who knows more can help us. But if he had to sell his Brentwood home, why did he only give 1% to?
You know what it probably is? It's probably the bankruptcy.
So it just went into the pool of the bankruptcy.
So the
and then
bankruptcy,
paid all debtors.
Yeah, he filed bankruptcy, and then so they're like, oh well, first things first, we're gonna take care of the debts that he owes.
True.
And then he can only pay this remunerative thing out of what he's left with at the end.
Okay.
Which is kind of bullshit, but the creditors don't care. They're like, fuck, pay us first.
give me
Fuck,
any-
they don't
yeah,
give a
give
shit.
me
They don't
anything,
give a shit
too.
about the families.
Yeah. Now it became a battle between really the Goldmans and OJ on finding his money and getting paid for it. Now, the Goldmans did say, specifically the dad, Fred Goldman, specifically said that he didn't do the civil suit for money.
He probably just wanted to prove, like,
He said he was so crushed that nobody acknowledged from a court standpoint, nobody acknowledged that he was liable for the death. Like when it was the not guilty.
Good for
he
him,
was
man. I
so
would have done the same
crushed
shit.
that he's like, I know this fucking guy killed my kid and Nicole. And so he's like, the next best thing I can do is get some court of law to say,
acknowledge it at least.
acknowledge it in some way.
I could see that, man. I would do the same thing.
I wouldn't have. I would have pulled a fucking.
I would have been like,
I would have pulled a Samuel Jackson from.
Found him in an
what's
alley.
that movie? Oh my god, it's so.
Yeah, it's with Matt McConaughey.
It's so fucked up.
Yeah,
but that's
yeah.
what I would have did. Like AR
Super,
just
yeah.
in the courthouse. Sorry.
A Time to Kill?
A Time to Kill. Yeah.
yeah.
God, it's a
Sandra
great movie,
Bee.
but it's so fucked up.
So fucked up.
Yeah.
The girl's raped, anyways.
Yeah.
Basically, if you haven't watched
That's
the
exactly
movie,
what I would do.
Yeah.
Sam,
100%.
if you haven't watched the movie, Sam Jackson's daughter, who's like 11, gets raped.
By these two dudes.
Yeah, and then they're gonna get
rednecks.
a lenient. They're gonna get a lenient trial because it's in a white community.
Yeah, and this is like back in
Louisiana
it's in
or
like
something
this
like
is
that?
like kind of back in the day where it's
Mississippi
Yeah,
it's
Mississippi. Yeah,
It's like in the
still
60s, 70s.
yeah, it's like I think it's like 60s. They're still really mistreated.
Yeah.
He went to like Nam or some shit.
Yeah.
and then he literally kills them in the courthouse.
yeah. So he just takes it's a little Batman
when they
thing.
got off.
Yeah,
when they were not.
when they pretty much in essence got off. They didn't get off scot free, but they got super lenient.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
he kills him, and then McConaughey gets him off in the end.
Spoiler.
Well, look,
Still,
I'm not trying
I
to.
watched that again.
I'm not trying to leave him with the shitty cliffhanger. Oh, she's raped, and they get off. Like, oh, come on, it's a terrible story.
It's very true.
They're just okay. Next podcast, just click this one off.
Okay, so next we're gonna get into the book, and this is the book called "If I Did It."
It's just like the worst.
So in 2006, 2007, OJ. Some say it was OJ's daughter, but
Let's
it
be
was
real.
probably OJ's idea, which was to write a book called If I Did It. And it was essentially, from his standpoint, and this is what he says. He says, I wanted to tell the story, the real love story between myself and Nicole.
Bullshit.
And also have a slant on it of if it were something that I did do, how I would have done it the night of that I didn't do it.
And he just happened to need some money too.
I know. He's like, just so having a hard. He's like, he's making a hard play to get that publisher to pay him up front.
Right.
So, because first what he does is he does this interview, and the interview is similar, where it was called O.J. Simpson, The Lost Confession, and it was an interview of the hypothetical way that he would have done it if he did do it, right? And so that's the start of the idea that happened, and so then he brought it to the table, and he actually wrote this book with another writer.
Yeah, obviously he didn't physically write it.
Yes, exactly. And it was called If I Did It. And
I think-
so I'm going to go over a few of it because I did read the book.
Painstakingly.
Yeah, it was very, very difficult to do. Also, I felt okay about it because the proceeds of the book purchase actually goes to the Goldmans.
Oh, thank God.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's part of this story. So I didn't really want to, I don't know.
You weren't supporting him. You were supporting the Goldmans.
Yeah. So, okay.
Not that we're biased on this podcast.
No. Listen, we're like a jury.
Very open.
We're like a
We're
jury.
just bringing you guys the facts.
Listen,
Yeah.
this is information.
Yeah. We're very Rogan open.
Yeah. All humans are equal in my
Of the
mind.
story.
I have no predetermined decisions.
Okay, so the Goldmans found out that he was going to write this book. And the Goldmans were like, fuck this. We're going to stop this. We don't want this book coming out. This is retarded. He is going to make money off of, even if he didn't do it, he's writing a book about what maybe happened that night. Let's just say he didn't do it, right? Let's just say he didn't do it.
I can't even say that. But
I know. No, I know. But I mean, if,
okay, go.
he was acquitted, right?
Yeah.
But
So,
my thing was, like who would write a book on? Well, I didn't do it, but here, I think I'm gonna get into how I would do it.
All
Like,
the
what kind of
evidence,
sick
all
fuck
the
would
evidence
do that?
says I did it, but I didn't do it. But if I did,
But if I
do
did,
it,
I want to get into it deep. I'm gonna deep dive
Yeah.
into how I would have killed my wife
I'm gonna give you
and
some
this
details
random waiter.
that only I would know.
I know, right? So, dude, like, what the fuck? Inside the mind of a potential killer that didn't do it.
Damn. All right.
Sorry, continue.
okay, so it was going to come out. And then, so Fox owns a lot of different things.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
And so Fox owned the publishing house that was going to release the book. And then they got tons of backlash from people going,
I bet they did.
What the hell?
And a lot of people already
You're
hate
gonna-
the Murdochs.
Yeah, and so
like,
actually, though, Murdoch recognized this and he stopped the book.
oh wow, smart
So,
play.
smart
little
thing,
business sense.
little thumbs up on Murdoch's choice on that, right? Because I agree with that. Okay, good. So,
Yeah,
granted,
he was ready to make some money.
Granted,
Tell
he probably
everybody-
just saw-
originally he thought it was a good idea.
he saw
probably.
he saw the bottom line. He was like, he's a businessman. He's probably
Yeah.
like, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's squashed it, and then the Goldmans then took OJ to court, and OJ
Again.
yes, for the book rights.
Yeah.
Oh,
So then also OJ created a shell company.
in the fucking Guam.
Yeah, no, and put his kids as the owners
Ah,
who were publishing the book.
but it was him.
And so then the proceeds would go to the shell company.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so,
So then the Goldmans-
it's not his money.
That's right.
It's not my money. You can't
It's the
take it. It's
kids'
not, my,
money.
it's not my money.
Yeah.
It's
The,
the kids'
the
money.
kids published the
That's right.
book.
So the Goldmans sued him for the rights of the book and the proceeds for anything that it sells.
This guy is just the same game everywhere. I mean, I did it.
didn't do it, but I did do it.
I did
Yeah.
it. I didn't do it, but I'm responsible.
Yeah.
For, like, it's always the same game.
I didn't make money, but I'm responsible for that
I'm
money.
responsible
but-
for the money.
And I spend it, but it's not my money.
I spend it, but I didn't do it.
Oh, man.
Okay, so they won. They won the rights, and the judge determined that the shell company was a farce created by OJ.
Oh, of course it was.
So that was determined. Okay, so they won the rights. Then what happened is they decided to use it as a confession.
Oh, they were like,
So
great.
they
Now
were like-
everyone will know he's full of shit.
So what they did is they changed it from "if I did it,"
I did it.
and they had to and they had to keep it the same. They were told that it has to. It's this. That's what they won. Was the title was called "If I Did It," right?
They couldn't.
So on the book, it says "I did it" in like 200 font, and then "if" is in literally like 4 font.
Really?
Yeah. So if you go look at the book cover,
I gotta look this up.
yeah, it's so tiny.
That's legendary.
And all it says is "I did it," but per the law, it's "if I did
That's
it."
hilarious. With the ultimate troll, it's like they wrote "if" in like white font.
Oh yeah, dude.
Can't
The
even
dad
see
is
it.
like, "I am never gonna let you go."
Look at that.
It's not a joke. Yeah.
I did it.
Oh, here, I'm gonna show this to the.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
And it's Confessions of the Killer.
Yeah. so
Wow.
they just, you know.
And it's like the killer
Yeah.
in yellow. Man, they really.
So
did
they
that.
decided to do that, and then in the book, I would say a big chunk of it is a forward by them, and it was
yeah.
telling the story of this and him hiding the money and the Shell Corporation and
Just
the
to
whole
show-
story.
Yeah, they're just painting the
what's
light of
happened.
the
Yeah,
shady
exactly.
shenanigans.
And then there was a part 2 about the person who wrote it with OJ, where he was just saying, "Hey, I gave you dozens of times to change this, and this is what you wrote. So are you sure you want to write this?" Meaning, like, he gave him all the opportunities in the world, because OJ later came out and said, "I didn't really write this myself."
Oh my
know what I
God.
mean?
I'm responsible for it.
Here we go again. Oh my god.
Exactly.
I didn't write it. He's got
Exactly.
plausible deniability for everything.
Yes.
What?
Yes. Okay, so one of the biggest changes from what we know as a story of it in the book is that he says there was another guy there.
Yeah.
And he says there was a guy there named Charlie, right? And Charlie alerted him. He went to his house in Brentwood and alerted him that there's some crazy shit going on at Nicole's house.
What's Charlie's last name? OJ? I don't really know. The Jews don't really remember things like that. I'm a first name basis type player.
Yeah. So that's the weird part. And I'm going to read a couple excerpts, right? And
Yeah.
it says Simpson's friend Charlie was the one who alerted him to go to Nicole's house that day. He says, I quote, "I don't know why he had been by Nicole's house, but he told me you wouldn't believe what's going on there. And I thought, whatever's going on there's got to stop. So according to Simpson, both he and Charlie got into his white Bronco and drove to Nicole's house."
Which is like 1 fucking second away.
Yeah.
It's like literally, it's drove across the street. That's like just walk. Like,
drive to
it's
my
right
neighbor's
there.
house.
Like, I know, it's literally drove into my driveway.
So he says they parked in the nearby alleyway, and Simpson pulled out a knife from under his seat, and he believes that Charlie took it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. He talked about blood and stuff, that there was a scene at the crime, and it reminded him, as things got heated, I just remember Nicole fell, hurt herself, and this guy came out of nowhere and started doing a karate thing. Ron. So Ron was a black belt. Third
he was.
degree. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And he said, describing the hypothetical moment, he kept saying, "This is hypothetical."
He was like, I just brute forced it. Like, he tried to do some karate shit. I just ran him over.
And so OJ says, "And I said, well, you think you could kick my ass?" And I remember I grabbed the knife.
And I remember.
Hypothetical.
And I hypothetically remember. I remember hypothetically.
And I remember I grabbed the knife. I do remember that portion, taking a knife from Charlie. And to be honest, after that, I don't remember, except I'm standing there and there's all kind of stuff around.
What?
All kind of stuff about like corpses.
This is.
Then he
I wish
says-
I was as good as him when I got in an argument with my wife.
Oh my
How
God.
the hell does he get away with everything? And I'm responsible, but I'm not. Like, I knew about it, but I didn't. But hypothetically, I would remember this kind of stuff.
Yeah, my wife's like, you did this. Well, hypothetically, I remember. But I don't
I'm gonna try to pull that one next time.
hypothetically.
Hypothetically, if I didn't take out the trash, then this was what.
You know, I didn't do it, but I'm responsible.
So he says, I hate to say this, but this is hypothetical. I don't.
Why would he hate to say it?
And he says, I don't think any two people could be murdered the way they were without everybody being covered in blood.
Everyone was covered. What? There was blood everywhere.
Wait. Say that again. Say that
Okay.
again.
I hate to say this, but this is hypothetical. I don't think any two people could be murdered the way they were without being covered in blood. Meaning that whoever murdered them would have been covered in blood.
Yeah, it's called you changed your clothes. You went to your house, which is a fucking like a hop, skip, and a jump away, bro.
But he's saying that there's no evidence that I was not covered in any blood. That's
true.
And the way they were killed, he's saying it would have been everywhere.
Well, yeah, some beheaded. I mean, there's going to be arterial spray fucking all over the place.
Exactly.
True.
But the fact is, he's literally admitting.
but what about the
he's
stabbing,
literally
the
admitting in
other
that
guy?
even without the hypothetical part that he went there, he was doing some karate shit, and then I blacked out.
I know. And that's the problem is in the book, there's so many vague things. You know, who's this Charlie guy?
And also, why would he come over? You wouldn't believe what's going down over there.
Yeah.
There's a waiter over at your girl's house, dog. He brought our glasses. This is fucking
Well,
crazy.
I don't know if you
Let's fuck
remember.
him up.
I don't know if you remember, but in the original crime scene, they found candles everywhere in her house. Now they don't know why.
Maybe she was trying to
She's
get a little
about to- yeah, she was about to get
bubble bath.
I know. So
She was
there's
about to get down with the
there's
waiter.
theories. No, there's theories of that. There's theories of that.
Good for her.
Or
honestly.
there's also we're three dudes, so we don't know the idea. We're not gonna take a bubble bath with candles, but girls might.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Solo,
girls
by
like
themselves.
they want to.
You don't know. I don't know.
The fresh
You know what I mean?
scent. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Okay,
mean,
fine.
you know, for our 7 female listeners,
Yeah. Let us know. How many candles is the appropriate amount of candles alive?
Do you ever have candles outside of the bathroom? I guess that's the question.
Good question.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get
right?
what you're saying. You know, if you're gonna take a bath, like you're a chick, right? You're gonna turn on some candles, but all over your house.
Maybe not.
That's what I'm
Probably
saying.
not.
Probably not.
Maybe she just knew.
So solo, it's just the confines of your bathroom.
I would think so.
That's what I'm saying.
Even
Yeah.
Okay.
and even that doesn't make
But
sense.
not
you know
solo.
How difficult it is to light
For
all those
chicks, it makes
stupid
sense.
Well,
fucking
yeah,
candles?
we're not the right. We're not the right. folks.
demographic for the candles.
We're not the right folks. So then there was a passage in his book where he talks about removing his glove before taking the knife from Charlie. Right? And so then he spoke about it and he says, I have no conscious memory of doing that, of removing the glove, but obviously I must have because they found the glove there.
First of all, those weren't driving gloves, were they? Were they like racing gloves?
They're high-end leather gloves.
But who wears that
Were
to
they
go?
winter gloves or like snow gloves?
They were
It's
like,
LA,
They're
so
like,
it's not-
yeah. But my thing is like, why would you? Let's get in the Bronco and go to the house that's a mile away. Let me put my fucking driving gloves
Hold on. Before we take off, let me put on my driving gloves.
My hand doesn't touch the fucking peasant steering wheel.
It's
Of
kind of
the
weird
Bronco?
because back then it wasn't like a collectible.
No,
You
it
know
was
what I
just
mean?
like
It
a
was
car.
Bronco.
Right,
It was just
right.
the Bronco. Yeah.
Whatever.
I gotta pick up.
So OJ went on to describe in detail the process of getting rid of the evidence.
Hypothetically.
Yes.
In detail.
So Simpson recalled having to dispose of the bloody clothes following the hypothetical killing.
I love I recall. Why is he using the word recall?
I hate that.
You're recalling a fake thing.
He says, and you had left your keys and wallet in your pants pocket and you had to go back and get it. Simpson, this is an interview about the book. He says, Simpson paused. He says, to be honest, I know that to be true, yes. And then Reagan, the interviewer, immediately followed up by asking him whether he believed in heaven and hell and whether he thought he would see his late wife again someday.
Okay, these people suck at interviewing.
I know. Yes, he replied confidently. Hey, look, I've cursed her. I've been to her gravesite. And why? What the hell? Look at these kids. Look at Sydney with no mother. I've done that. I've done that.
What do you say? Like,
OJ.
I've cursed her, or like a voodoo, like a,
Right.
Just reading what he said.
or is
I
he
don't know,
like,
you know what I mean?
fuck?
So, I mean, essentially.
You ruined my life.
I know, it's like you made me hurt you.
You responsible this time, not me.
So essentially, that is if I did it. I mean, that, a majority of the book, he's going on and on about his relationship with Nicole and how they loved each other and how she wanted to get with him even after abusing her and being charged with abuse, with spousal abuse.
It's called Stockholm. It's called Stockholm syndrome. It's like
You think so?
You become sympathetic with your captor.
You think?
I think that
I think he's lying.
I think that she.
You know what I mean?
That they were in love?
No,
That what?
No, I think that she
he keeps saying that she wanted to get back with me and she was trying and she was
I
obsessed
don't know.
with me.
No,
You know what I mean?
I thought you
Hell
were
no.
talking about like because it happened so many
Oh, why
times
she
and she
stayed.
stayed.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
because I think she was afraid, and you know he had all this power and control, and then she thought
Yeah.
that she had no outlets for help, and she couldn't do anything. So
Yeah.
she's like, I'm just gonna have to take it. I'm fucked.
Right.
And
Yeah.
she had kids. And she's probably worried about the
that's
kids.
another
Like,
thing.
is he
That's
going to
true.
turn on the kids if I leave? He's going
True.
to take it out on them.
True.
You know,
Yeah.
that's what I thought you were talking about.
Yeah.
Not after the last thing.
And I mean, a lot of stuff has come out about Nicole, and it seems like she was a bit of a party animal.
I'm not saying she's a saint, but
yeah,
like,
yeah, she didn't deserve anything that we're
No.
talking
No,
about.
God,
no,
no,
not at all.
no.
But I am just saying that in the book he really just shits on her the whole book.
he tries to make her look like
course.
Yes.
he wants to be the victim.
Yes.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
You know,
And
when you
she
do
was
something wrong,
obsessed
you're
with
always
him,
like them.
And he could never have killed her because he loves her so much.
I highly doubt that.
You know. But hypothetically, that's how
I
he
mean,
would have done it.
hypothetically, if I were to
damn.
dispose of the evidence,
Yeah. So now here's the weird part, okay? He's saying, so here's the theory. Here's my theory. I don't know if it's my theory. I heard it a couple times around the
you were told.
around the blogs.
I was told.
Is that Charlie was some sort of alter ego of himself.
Ooh, that's a great. Like he literally created a persona.
Well, or that's his justification of how he goes evil.
Oh, like Charlie's like angry juice.
Angry juice.
Charlie's
he's like
angry.
angry. Yeah, he's like the Hulk.
Like
and then there's
Chucky.
Bruce Banner, and then there, you know what I mean? You have like Dr. Jekyll.
Oh,
and
wow.
Mr.
Are
Hyde.
you saying he's using that to kind of like justify his hypotheticalness or whatever?
Yes.
Or are you just saying it unconsciously happens that he has
Oh
this
no,
alter
no,
ego?
it's his justifier.
Yeah. Or he's just making it up, and I can't say that I killed her.
Or
So here's my gay,
Okay.
and it's me
hear
in
me out.
rage. I don't know. You
Hear
know what I
me
mean?
out.
I'm kind of just
That's
chatting about.
fucking
I mean, that's really the end of the book. It doesn't really shed any new, I guess, light. I guess it does show what he is presenting to us as the possibility of what happened. So now, okay, so we're done with the book, really. But why would he put forward this in any way? Like, why would he put this forward?
Well, before you said that they got the rights and that they were getting the money, I was like, okay, well, yeah, he obviously
wants
needs
money.
He just needs money. He doesn't need attention, not especially this kind of attention.
I think he's a narcissist. I think
Yeah.
he's just a fucking.
So years
he
went
just
by and
wanna,
he's like, now
rub it in
he's-
everybody's face how he would get away with it. Like if he did it,
He's all into the double jeopardy. He's never going to get charged again. Kind of.
Oh, he
thing.
knows. He knows he can't go to prison for it. He knows, and I think it's the only people like that. And you'll see it too. You'll see like how like, you know, I'll give you an example. Like Madonna. Obviously, Madonna's different because she's obviously a superstar, but she kind of died out for a little bit, and then like she comes back and she's doing the weird Vanity Fair shit with like the demonic shit. Like she's just trying to be relevant. I feel like maybe obviously for money, but also it's just trying to be relevant again. He was the king of the world, fucking Heisman, fucking Hall of Fame, and then he was, you know, I like being famous. Some people like being
yeah,
famous.
but what's the play? He's just gonna get famous and then he's gonna start getting endorsements? No,
I mean,
nobody's
I
gonna.
look at him today.
He's living his
No,
he's living
not.
his
He's
fucking
not.
best life right now.
He's not getting endorsements.
He's
is
getting
he?
free. He's getting free meals at country clubs.
I don't know. How's he hiding the money now?
Maybe still through his kids.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
We'll
he's
take
got-
that up in a bit.
what
We'll take
money?
that in a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
yeah.
gonna
What
get-
money? Yeah, he's
He's still broke.
living on that pension.
I know, but he's still,
pension.
those pension affords
Yeah.
him a couple margaritas.
So, do you think that what his story and If I Did It brought any new? Maybe that's how it happened, or do you think he made up everything? You know what I mean?
I think he added. I
Or
think
was
he
it
He did not
actually
make
a
up
con-
everything.
Was it actually what happened?
I think he probably put in some truth.
No, both.
But
But
that-
I say no
yeah.
to both. Go ahead.
I think he put in some truth, but then just tried to make it even more confusing than it already was.
Yeah,
Like he's just
exactly.
literally just trying to
Sprinkling in
Yeah.
bullshit.
like this Charlie bullshit.
Yeah.
Like that's just
I think
adding,
the Charlie thing is
adding
bullshit.
confusion so that it's kind of I'm gonna hide in the truth. You
Yeah,
can hide in the
I can
confusion.
finally get
hide
my
the truth in the confusion.
Yeah.
finally get his confession off, but he's still. But there's all these other things, and some people are like, maybe he is innocent.
Right.
Because he can't even make up this.
But
he can't even confess right. It's just like even his confessions. All
so
fucked up.
How does
weird.
he hypothetically recall? This is just
That's what he
this
doesn't.
still piss me
He doesn't
off.
understand the definition of recall.
I know, what a slimy, right?
Piss
It's
me
actually
off.
evil.
Yeah.
It's evil. Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna hypothetically recall. I promise you.
I hypothetically
I'm
recall.
gonna like someone's gonna.
That's gonna be the new line.
Yeah.
I hypothetically recall.
I'm gonna fuck something up at work. I'm like, well, I hypothetically recall you telling me to do that, but in the reality, I don't recall.
I don't recall.
Okay, so we're gonna fast forward a little bit. Now, I'm sure you've heard of this before, but he was involved in a robbery in Vegas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But did he like rob?
Yeah.
Sorry, you're probably gonna get
Yeah, I'm gonna
here.
tell you the whole
Yeah.
story, right?
Tell us the
So
story.
I'll tell you the story. It's not like a long story, really, but
It's a short story.
essentially, and we go back to the beginning, which is all his shit was sold.
Yeah,
Auctioned
off.
Raise some money for
Yeah,
bankruptcy.
that's right. And in an effort
to pay his
that's
legal
right.
bills.
Now, what's interesting is all our shit. Like, I have a football in my garage. It's worth $6.
It's probably worth. It's actually probably worth nothing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Facebook Marketplace, $1.99.
It's just free. Just pick up.
Yeah. But you got to realize he was a superstar. And so everything in his garage from his playing days
Oh yeah, it's all worth
is
money.
worth tons of money.
Fuck yeah.
Definitely.
So it became an asset on his balance sheet.
Every possession, pretty much.
Pretty
right?
much every possession.
This is my
right?
pair of underwear.
Now,
Yeah.
but here's OJ's argument. OJ thinks that it's sentimental. So your pictures of your kids is sentimental. That's you. That's worth. How much would you pay for your picture of your newborn daughter?
Oh,
The
dude,
last
I
one,
st-
let's
I
say.
That's it. The last one.
I'd steal it. I'd totally rob
So
somebody
his
for that
argument.
shit.
So his argument is that it's more valuable to him because it's his. It's the football that he got the first touchdown on.
Oh, I thought you meant
His argument. He doesn't have an
No,
argument.
I
There's
know.
a
No,
fucking
I'm just
legal-
telling you.
They
There's a
sold it.
legal stance.
I
there.
know. I'm just telling you what his argument is.
Well, he's an idiot.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
He's like, no, you don't understand. I know that they already paid money for it, but it's more important to me. I love that.
You don't deserve it.
Like,
Like,
look,
I deserve it.
like,
Like,
your money is more important to me, so I'm gonna take it because I care more about your money.
So here's what he did:
it to me.
is he heard that a sports memorabilia dealer was in Vegas who had a bunch of OJ stuff, and he heard that he was trying to sell it. And
Fucking
so
fire sale.
he set up. I don't want to call it a coup, but like he set up almost like a sting, where he had a guy pretend that he was a buyer, and he wasn't OJ.
I got cash.
But it was somebody who was super into OJ memorabilia, and they wanted to meet him in the hotel and see all the stuff on the bed and buy all the shit from him.
yeah.
First things first, folks. Don't sell shit at hotels and like invite people into your bedroom.
Essentially, what happened is he went in there, and he went in with a guy, not a bouncer, but a muscle guy, a security guy, and he went in and he barged his way into a tiny room.
This is OJ, right?
Yeah, OJ, at the Palace Station Hotel in Vegas. And I don't know if you've been to a Vegas cheap hotel room. They're very tiny.
They're small.
Very tiny. Okay.
Because you don't really spend a lot of time in there.
That's true. That's true.
So imagine 9 6-foot dudes
Like in a room
in a
that's
room.
the size of like this
right?
table.
Yeah. And so one of the guys, which is on OJ's team, brought a gun. And OJ pumped him up at the beginning and said, "This is my shit."
Get that gun ready, motherfucker.
Yeah, no. And he was
Ride or
like,
die.
out of his team, he found out that he was a licensed conceal and carry guy.
Yeah.
So
And
he's like-
Vegas
he's like-
is super loosey goosey on that.
Yeah, so he was
Doesn't
okay,
matter.
good. So you're the one who's going to bring the gun in. You're going to be the muscle, and blah blah blah.
Well, just because you can carry doesn't mean you can flash it around and
Right.
threaten people.
No, that's right.
It's like,
Yeah, that's
licensed.
yeah, you're licensed.
Licensed to threaten with a gun.
So you come with me and you fucking
You shoot him.
Flash
You're
it.
licensed. Licensed motherfucker.
So they entered the room. They entered the hotel room, and Simpson said, "Don't let anybody leave." Then the other guy pulled the gun. So
Instantly.
so you have Simpson's guy holding a gun, and then Simpson saying, "Don't leave the room." Okay?
to the seller.
To the seller.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, good. So then Simpson said, grab it. Grab all the stuff. So they started putting all the stuff in a bag that was all on the table. Now, Half of it was OJ memorabilia.
The other half's like
Half
other
of it
shit.
was like Pete Rose autographs.
Oh, dude, I want
a
that.
bunch of other stuff.
I
right?
love Pete Rose.
So it also then no longer became his own stuff.
Now it's like grand larceny.
Now he's stealing grand theft. You know what I mean? And all that sort of thing. Okay, good. Joe Montana stuff, and they just put it into pillowcases. And all in all, it was a 6-minute thing. It happened in 6 minutes. And then he left. Woohoo, that was crazy. Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
Needless to say, we have like a witness who's like, it was OJ who did it.
And little did OJ know, somebody had a recorder recording the whole room.
Oh shit.
It's literally
So
like
this is
he
not-
he probably announces himself. I am Orenthal James Simpson. Give me my memorabilia.
This is not a witness thing. This
It's
is
like on camera.
On camera.
Yeah.
And video or
It's
audio.
probably even in the hallways they've got cameras
Yeah,
too.
that's
So it's
true,
like
that's
him
true.
leaving with goons, and he's like probably smiling.
Yes. So he denied everything.
They're like,
I'm responsible for it, but I wasn't
Yes.
carrying the pillowcase.
Now, I recall hypothetically I wasn't responsible.
Look, I went to have a conversation. Those large gentlemen followed me into the room. I did not instruct anyone to steal it.
Yeah. So, okay, so that's basically what happened. I mean,
So
I watched a whole
He got
documentary on it.
arrested, right? Then he
That's
got
what
he
I'm
went to
saying.
jail.
So he got arrested for this, right? And so then he went to court, and at first it was okay. This is an assault charge or whatever. But then the judge they found recordings of it,
And they're like, nope.
and so then you got OJ telling the guy ahead of time on record saying, "Hey, you bring the gun in, you be the muscle." Then they walk in, he pulls the gun, and he says, "Don't leave the room."
Wait. So the recording, I thought you said the recording was in the room.
Audio recording
Oh.
of
okay.
both. Everything's recorded.
Everything.
And
Oh,
it's
shit.
Vegas.
I know it, and it's everything's recorded anyways.
Yeah,
They're
that's
walking
true.
to the hallways, walking this.
They come out with
God.
fucking pillowcases full of shit.
Yes.
Like, fucking-
Of all the places to do this, you do it in Vegas.
I know, it's like might as well do it on live television.
I would. Yeah, I don't even pick my nose in Vegas.
I know, it's like they're watching.
The eye in the sky.
Yeah,
I know, it's like I win like 3 hands in a row. And I'm like start sweating.
out.
I'm like fuck. They're on to me. Like, they're
I know, right?
You win 3 and you think they're gonna take you out
I know.
in the back somewhere,
He's
like
won.
beat you up.
He's won $100. Kill him.
Kick him out.
Okay, so in October 3rd, 2008, this is the transcript, the verdict, the sentencing by Judge Jackie Glass. And she was a no bullshit, no holds bar, chick, basically.
She sounds hardcore. Jackie Glass sounds like a fucking superhero.
Like
So
this, Jackie.
I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to read most of the parts. And she just,
laid into
she
him.
gets
She's like,
into
first
it.
things first, OJ, fuck
Drilled
you.
into him. Yeah. First of all, you guilty for Nicole.
Before we get started,
I mean, pretty
read it.
So earlier in this case at a bail hearing, I said to Mr. Simpson, I didn't know if he was arrogant or ignorant or if he was both. And during the trial and through this proceeding, I got that answer. It's both. Now, there's still questions about whose stuff it is. I think that's still in dispute. You thought it was yours. Your counsel said that over and over again to me during the trial and now during the sentencing, as well as you. The tapes, however, in this case indicate to me that you didn't want all of those items to fall into the hands of the Goldmans.
Oh, so wow, that's even shadier.
Yeah.
As long as they don't get paid.
Yeah. You were heard on the tape making reference to them, the Goldmans, as gold diggers. So you put your group together. You went into Palace Station Hotel to get those items back. And what you didn't know, and also Mr. Stewart, who's another guy who's part of his crew,
Yeah.
you didn't know was it was planning to be taped. The event was taped. Phone calls were taped. Conversations were taped. They had videotape of you
shit.
going in, videotape of you going out, and the party afterwards where you attended was taped. Everything in this case
The
was
shit
taped.
you took right before
Yeah.
is on tape.
Everything in this case was taped. And it's your own words, Mr. Simpson, your own words that can be heard throughout those events that have brought you to here to this seat in my courtroom. Because we heard it all. And what came out on the tapes said to me and to the jury that the evidence in this case was overwhelming. It was overwhelming. How often, as a judge, do I sit here and I listen to a trial and hear everything laid out for me to be able to hear? It's very rare.
In your own words.
Yeah. The event in question, the room at the hotel, where I went to that room, and it was a little bitty room. there were a lot of big guys in that little bitty room. And when I heard the tape, that was not oh, just give me my stuff back. I want my stuff. That was, nobody leave this room.
Like
That was
we're jacking you.
This
Yes.
is a stick up.
Yes. That was actually a very violent event. And I don't care what Beardsley says now or what Fremont, which these are the other guys. I know what Beardsley says immediately afterwards when he called the police. We heard that too, that it was a violent event. Guns were brought. At least one gun was drawn. The potential for harm to occur in that room was tremendous. And I don't know how fortunate you consider yourself to be at this moment, but really, truly, if the gun had gone off and bullets started flying, not only could one of you in the room have been hurt, but some poor tourist walking down the hallway or a hotel worker could have been hurt. That is why we have rules in the state of Nevada and say you can't take back your own property by force, anybody else's property by force. You can't do it. There's no self-help. You cannot do it, but you did do it.
I mean, shit, are there states that you can? What the fuck? I thought that was like a national rule. That was like, well, good for her,
Yeah.
Jackie.
Okay, so then after the event, all of a sudden the realization hits you and there are phone calls made. In those phone calls, you say, there was no gun. There was no gun. There was no gun. Mr. Simpson made those phone calls saying there was no gun.
Dude, how'd they get these phone calls taped? Damn,
Well,
they got
why?
fucking
Yeah, I know. They had everything.
They had everything.
Everything.
Man.
I know. It's technology moved
wild.
forward. Yeah. Well, why in the heck would he be calling anybody to say that there was no gun?
These calls a random person. Hello, there's no gun.
Yeah. Except for the fact that he realized later there was a gun. And oops, I might be in trouble now.
Hypothetically.
Yeah.
there's no gun.
And then again, at the party, the laughter, the joking. Did you see the look on his face? Ha ha ha. Isn't this funny? You knew what was going on there. You knew. I am actually surprised that I heard from you, Mr. Simpson. I believe that there wasn't going to be a statement from you. So he did do a statement and he said, I'm sorry. He was almost crying.
Oh, please.
He was
Come on now.
Alligator tears.
He was saying, I thought it was my stuff and I came and I went back there for my stuff. And I didn't mean no harm. And it didn't mean no harm to you.
Sorry he got caught.
Yeah,
thought it was
yes.
And he was using his acting
Yes.
skills from back in the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, Norberg.
Yeah.
I have to tell you now, it was much more than stupidity. It's rare that I've seen somebody talking to me at a sentencing about a men's criminal intent. It doesn't matter. You went to the room, you took guns, meaning you and the group, you used force, you took property, whether it was yours or somebody else's. In this state, that amounts to robbery with the use of a deadly weapon, whether it's you having the gun or Clinton having the gun or Mr. Alexander having the gun.
But one thing that's not super clear to me, they keep referencing that property is his. It's not his. Like, didn't it get auctioned off?
He was saying
he believes it's still his.
I
know.
believe that your
that's-
house is my house,
That's
Sean.
his defense. Yeah, that's his
No,
defense.
but I mean,
That's what I believe.
No, but it would be a picture of you.
No, but we were talking about like a football, weren't we?
Yeah, but it's a signed
I
autograph
know, but
of him.
it was sold for cash.
So it's not just saying. It's not
either
just
way,
saying.
yes.
I know, but it's not just saying it's his house. It's like
Okay,
a
fine,
picture
fine.
of you signed, and you're like, "That's mine."
Yeah,
And
but
it-
that was like
I would say,
if
okay,
it was,
yeah, it's
if it
his.
was my house before and then it went to foreclosure and he bought it.
It's a little different when it's literally a picture of you.
No, it's not.
Or a football with
not.
your
Okay,
signature
imagine-
on it.
No,
that literally
Eric,
could be like
it's actually the house thing that Jorge's saying is actually more. I raised my kids in that house. I lived in the house for 20 years. It got foreclosed on. All my fucking memories are in that house. My blood, sweat, and tears are in that. Oh,
I'm
it
just
was a football.
I'm just saying, no, his hand. Yeah, I guess. All
Yeah,
right,
you know what?
yeah.
You know how many shits I took in that
I'll
house?
give it to you. I'll give it to you. There's got to be DNA somewhere. There's got to be.
I pissed all over these walls.
Yeah.
There's got to be DNA. Check the DNA.
So she says, it doesn't matter. You went to the room. You took the
doesn't matter.
guns.
That's the thing.
Meaning you and the group. You used force. You took property. She does say earlier, she's like, I don't know who owns the stuff. Right? Remember she was saying,
the buyer, the
guy
seller.
who's-
I know, but
Yeah,
nobody
like
has
the seller.
proof. It's kind of like black market. You don't know who owns it. Like there's no proof.
I thought it went
Okay,
to
fine.
auction. I thought it was an auction.
I know, but
Yeah, but we don't have.
we
proof
don't know.
that
She didn't
seller
have proof.
that was there.
Oh, okay.
He just
Whatever.
had it.
Sure.
You know
Semantics.
what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, semantics. Fucking details.
Yeah.
Like
When I first started this trial and I talked to the jury when we had the whole panel in, I stated to the group that if they were here because they wanted to punish Mr. Simpson for what happened previously, then this was not the case for them. And I meant that. As the judge in this case, I'm not here to sentence Mr. Simpson for what happened in his life previously in the criminal justice system. As a judge who presides in this courtroom every day and over trials, hundreds of trials during the 6 years I have been here, I have great respect for the criminal system. I am part of it, and as a judge who has taken jury verdicts for years, I respect the verdicts of my juries. I have to respect what happened in the case 13 years ago. The jury decided. There are many people that disagreed with that verdict, but that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is the state brought charges, a trial was conducted, and evidence was heard, testimony received, the jury deliberated, and they reached a verdict. And I have to respect the verdict as well. There's nothing more that's going to happen here other than the sentence for you, Mr. Stewart. And the sentence for you, Mr. Simpson, is based on the evidence that occurred in this case. I'm not here to try and cause any retribution or any payback for anything else. I want to be perfectly clear to everybody because if I did, then I wouldn't be doing my job as a judge who presides over a courtroom in this jurisdiction.
I'm sorry. I just
I don't
think
know if
that's
I believe her, but
I
go
know.
ahead.
I just think it's why is it even necessary to say that? He's literally.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if I
all the
believe
evidence
her.
on the universe. It's so unnecessary.
So
It's like,
here's
you're
the
literally
crazy part.
admitting to you
So-
on camera.
I know. So
Doing
let me read what she sentenced you, and then we'll see if we believe that paragraph of what she said. Okay?
Okay.
So Simpson was found guilty on all 12 charges.
Damn.
He was handcuffed, reprimanded 33 years
In prison?
to prison.
I mean, he obviously didn't serve that.
no.
Oh, I'm
Okay, so I just want to play out a scenario. Jorge goes to Vegas. He goes to the Flamingo.
Why can't it be like the fucking
what is this?
No,
in the-
because
is this the-
Grand?
is this
Why
the
do I gotta go
50s?
to Flamingo?
No, because he went to.
I
he
can't
went,
afford the MGM. I gotta go to Flamingo.
Sorry, Caesar's is out of your price range, brother. You go to Flamingo?
I'm not a peasant.
You ever been to Vegas?
No.
peasant.
It has
of course
nothing
not.
to do with Jorge. It has to do with the fact that he went to a place called Palace Station.
I've never heard of it.
I've never heard of it.
Never
you heard of it?
True.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so I'm just trying to pick a
And out of the way
Random.
spot.
side.
He goes to the
maybe-
Golden Nugget.
Yes,
Tiny room.
Yes, $79.99. You know
With
what I
a
mean?
tiny room.
Tiny room.
Free buffet.
Yes. Okay. So Jorge goes, and he's trying to get some shit back that's his, that he thinks is his.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sombreros.
Okay, and he goes with Sean, and Sean's got to conceal, right?
Alright.
He goes in there.
Like, Sean, I'm gonna ask you to do something. You can't ask me any questions. We're gonna fuck some people
Ride or
up.
die,
Ride or
baby.
die.
Ride or die.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Yeah. I'm gonna call you AC Callington.
I'm like, you buying the tickets, though, right?
No, so he walks in, and he goes on the cameras, and he walks in, and he meets the guy. You guys walk into the room, and you, instead of going, I'm gonna buy this shit, you say, give it to me. I'm gonna take it. And he pulls out the gun,
You ain't getting out of here.
right? And then you start stuffing all the shit in the pillowcases. Then you walk out, you go to a party. Game's over, right? That's it.
Yeah.
You get arrested. What do you get?
As far as like the
Sentencing.
sentencing?
No, just
Do you get 33 years?
No, I definitely.
That's what I'm saying.
I definitely don't get
Hear me.
33
You
years.
don't get 33 years.
No,
no.
You get 4.
no. Wait, this is
Well, here's the other thing. Like when you pull out a gun, it goes
I
up
know.
in a whole another level.
Totally.
No, but here's the-
I don't know what the law is there. Like when you pull out a gun.
Partial. But there was also, they considered it kidnapping
of course,
because he said you can't leave the room.
yeah. And it's
Robbery?
robbery, and it's the deadly
Assault,
weapon. Yeah.
deadly weapon.
So that's why
Then they keep going. you
that's
know what
why I
mean?
think
Yeah.
that-
I'm not
that's
getting
why I think
33,
it-
but maybe I'll get 5.
You're
8,
right. Jorge.
I'm just
No,
saying,
Jorge would have got
that's-
60 years. He got a life.
All I'm saying is, justice is supposed to be blind,
True.
right? So
yeah.
her paragraph here is saying it had nothing to do with 13 years earlier.
Well, okay. Well, here.
So
do
he
this.
got the max of all the maxes.
No,
That's all
but
I'm
yeah,
saying.
I didn't get max, but like they were putting people away for like having a quarter of weed for like 10. They put them away for 10
True.
years.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
like, I'm
No,
like,
you're
is
right.
that really worth?
You're
like,
right.
Like, I
You're
mean,
right.
come on, like
You're right.
it's a little
You're right.
crazy.
You're right.
So I'm saying,
I'm
like,
just
the
trying to-
system is broken.
And
That's what I'm saying.
maybe
The system's broken.
It's definitely broken, but like in her defense, I mean, he went there with full intent, with
Totally.
a gun, blah,
And it
blah,
could have
like, full
ended
out.
up with somebody getting shot.
Yes.
I do think it is a little weird. What makes me think she did because she made that statement.
I know.
Yeah.
It's so unnecessary. There's so
I
much
know.
evidence. Every evidence possible.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I'm not doing this because of what he
True.
did. And why even say that? Like, no one would think
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
He's on camera.
Yeah.
He's on video. He's on
True.
audio.
No, people,
Phone calls.
People would think that. I would think that if I was judging her and, hey, you gave this guy a full sentencing.
Full.
Yeah. And like, you
So she said that because of the
she
amount
knew
of
what she was
years.
gonna
She
do.
knew she was
gonna
going to
be
give him the
like,
max.
you know, drop the
She
hammer
knew
on
what she was
him.
gonna do.
Oh, maybe
Yeah.
that's why she did it.
But that being said, I
Max
still
max.
think, like, yeah.
She pressed it all the way to the ceiling. She pressed it all the way to the
She could have
ceiling.
left that out and just given the full sentence anyway.
No, I think
I'm not mad at her.
I'm not mad.
I'm not mad at her. No,
I
I'm not mad at her.
I do think she pumped it up. I
Yeah.
do think she juiced it up.
I'm just saying
Yeah.
maybe that wasn't totally true. The paragraph
It's you wouldn't
about it.
It's like
You know,
no,
that's
no, no.
all.
It's
Yeah.
it's like
It's a
I'm
hypothetical.
I
you
know.
know?
I know.
She's just saying hypothetically.
Hypothetically,
when the juice is on the run.
Yeah,
shit, I barely remember anything.
can't squeeze the juice when the juice is going.
Can't squeeze the juice when the juice is good. So
Okay.
fucked up.
So he was convicted. He went to prison.
But he only served like what?
So he served 9 years.
Wow.
He served 9 years.
Longer than I thought.
On
Oh,
October
no, it's
1st,
actually longer than I thought. Yeah.
October 1st, 2017, he was released.
The juice is loose.
So then the juice moved to Florida.
Well, he was already living here, no?
You know, but he was also living in
After the
Vegas.
bankruptcy.
He was living in Vegas too,
Oh,
and I don't know. You know,
So-
but he
so, like, he
officially,
officially,
moved
yeah.
there, and now he's in Orlando area.
Oh,
Yep.
never gone there.
That'd be weird if you run into him.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Those of you guys don't know, we're like in the Tampa Bay area.
I might trip him.
Like it's around here. Hulk Hogan lives here,
Yeah.
and we run into him.
Oh,
right?
dude, I've ran into him multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
So imagine
possible.
if you ran into OJ. though.
OJ, but Hulk is not OJ.
No, I'm just
No,
saying.
I
I'm
still
just
like
saying.
Hulk is a dreamboat in comparison.
Seriously,
So,
you're
so,
right.
so you're like shopping in Publix and you run into OJ. What do you do?
I don't know.
Just like walk by and drop like
100%.
I
just,
don't know.
just like mumble like killer.
I feel like, dude,
Fuck you, OJ.
I do
Guilty.
feel like I would be like that guy. Like
Yeah.
I'd be like, I hate you.
It'd be a little.
Eric's like, my son wants to say
passive-aggressive.
something to you.
Yeah.
I hate you, Mr.
Although, but it wouldn't do anything. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, right,
He gets
Eric.
it all the
No.
time.
You know what would
He gets
really
it all the
Imagine like
time.
how much he goes through.
Oh my
that.
gosh.
Still.
Eric would
probably.
just text us and be like, I just saw it. And he would take a picture.
No, I
like
would take a
candid
video.
picture.
I would
100%.
not post it on any social media. I would send it to you guys.
I know.
I'd go
that's
live
what I
on like
do.
Instagram, and be like, "Look at what I just ran into! Like, look at the guy I found in public."
Or his clickbait madness. Assaulted by OJ in public.
You'd
Okay,
be like
so-
egging him on just to like
I know, right?
get it.
Hit me.
Okay, so remember at the beginning we went over a poll of how
Yeah,
many people
yeah,
believe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So as of 2017, 83% of Americans believe that he was guilty.
both black
Yeah.
and white.
Just 83%.
Yeah, but is it
All the
black or
things.
white? I mean, at the
It's just
beginning you
all
said
things.
black, and then you said a
Well,
white.
that's the
You know,
only
two
poll
different
I've-
votes.
That's the only poll I was able
Be
to
curious,
to
though,
get. It
right?
would be curious. It would be curious.
But the point is, everybody.
But the point is that it happened and it was low. Lower.
Yeah.
And then over time, now more people believe that he just did it.
Well, yeah, I'm sure
make
that
sense?
I'm sure
course,
that
of course.
if I
Yeah.
did it, but didn't like help the cause.
Yeah. I know.
You know, like
His whole life. Yeah, seriously.
no, seriously.
Yeah.
The hypotheticals did not assist.
so we're
there
gonna
you go.
we're gonna
That's
put
it.
up our own poll.
Yeah. Oh, for
on
sure.
Spotify, you guys
I
will
think
be
it's-
able to see.
no.
We should do it on this one. I mean, this
This
is,
one? Not-
we just talked about the poll.
Okay, that's true.
Right?
All right, we're gonna do
I
it
don't
in
know.
this one. I like it.
Yeah, we'll do it. Obviously, probably do it after episode 4, though, when we get in the
That's what he was just
get in
saying.
the conspiracy.
I'm saying do it with this one because
Yeah.
we're talking about the poll right now.
He wasn't listening.
I was texting at the time. Sorry, I was getting a very important communication. Wait, why don't we? Oh wait, we do OJ.
All right, let's do it, but on
Crazy,
4.
man. Yeah.
When the juice getting tasty, the juice don't know what's happening.
You squeeze it too hard.
Squeeze
you-
juice.
you
I got no juice left for you.
All right, there you go.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see.
Episode 3.
What about the next one?
So episode 4 is
Next Tuesday.
Episode 4 is all the conspiracies and the kind of finale. I do have like I put together what are bullet points of why he did it, and then a couple things of
Like 10
Why it
why he
wasn't
did
proved.
it and like why maybe not.
well, no, like
10-1.
no, the things in the trial, like why
Yeah, what are they fucking?
what they
like,
couldn't prove.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
Like, what are the holes?
What caused the reasonable doubt?
Yes, exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
And then there's about 4 conspiracies that are worth talking about. There's one that's really stupid, but the 3 other ones are Semi-okay.
Yeah, I think
that's
it's probably good to do because I truly think the reasonable doubt thing is smart. Like you can't just you can't take emotion and stuff into these trials because you get like Salem witch trial shit. You're like, well, she didn't want to date me, witch, burn her, kill her. But like they just, I think they just fucked a lot of things up.
Yeah, very true. One of these days, I'd love to learn about the double jeopardy thing.
Well, they did it because I don't know why. I don't remember. Actually, I used to know, but I don't remember why they instituted that system.
It reminds me of that movie.
Oh, it's called Double Jeopardy. There's a movie called Double.
Ashley Judd.
Oh yeah,
Lee Jones.
Yeah, it's called Double Jeopardy. But then doesn't she kill him though? Because then she can't be charged for it. So then she kills him again. She kills him for real.
She's so hot in that.
Could be true. Yeah. Well, tune in next time, guys. Next episode.
Okay, guys. Thanks a bunch.
All right, guys. Nighty night.
Hey, guys. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you want to reach out to us, please email us at info@theconspiracypodcast.com. You can check us out on Instagram at @conspiracypodcast. Also, don't forget to subscribe. You can catch a new podcast almost every week. Just hit the little subscribe button at the top. It's a plus sign. We love show ideas, corrections, hate mail. Thanks a bunch.